Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're just going to do a little bit of a filler episode here in Psycho Killer. This will be the review for the day. We're going to hop in probably to Nightmare on Elm Street after this, or another one that we've done in the past. But this movie came out recently here in 2026 on Hulu-Disney. I think it's exclusive to those two, if I'm not mistaken. So kind of just dive on into it, kind of talk about it a little bit here. But this movie hits it off right away at the beginning of the movie. We see the psycho killer himself, who is later found out to be Richard Joshua Reeves, um, who is a character that had some kills earlier on in his life that is still alive. So we follow him as he's driving in a stolen car, gets well, he doesn't get pulled over, but he does pull himself over on the interstate because he's trying to let the cop go by him because he knows he's on a stolen car. He's a little methodical about it, but um, at the end of the day, the cop sees a bunch of pills in the back. The psycho killer puts a gun in between his legs and takes out the cop. State trooper, his wife actually is a state trooper as well, and she was driving by and witnessed the whole entire thing. So that kind of um, was the start of the movie and kind of gave us like the whole gist of the movie. She's going to be tracking him down, etc. there. So after that happens, husband's buried. 4 days later, she's trying to track down the psycho killer who has had like a whole path of kills along the highway and trying to bring it back to an island from back in the time where these original killings were happening, kind of exploded and had like a really really bad like meltdown. So he's trying to bring it back to the same starting point there, committing suicide basically for the devil within this movie. So it's just a killer that's believing in the devil. Nothing really more to it. It's kind of like a simplistic approach to a slasher movie. He's just linked to the devil and goes on about everything with the kills, the drugs, etc. He pulls up to a house where we see Marvin, who gives him the info he needs. Marvin, if you guys are unaware, is a pretty solid actor himself there, and Logan Miller. We've seen him in a few other things in the past, so he does a great job there. He's the only one of that house that does survive because the psycho killer takes out the other 5 or 6 people there. So we see that happen during a huge like sex scene. Other than that, you get to the end of the movie, the psycho killer's just sitting there in the meltdown area. I don't know exactly what it's called, and just is wanting to commit that suicide. But we see the likes of Jane there take him on out. Um, for the most part, he is back in prison there in California at the end of the movie, which to me just kind of gives me the feeling that they're going to do a second movie here. But um, not a great movie, not a bad movie. I mean, it was a little slow, so I maybe give this like a 6 out of 10. Maybe a little bit lower, but definitely worth the watch at least once. So hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you.